Good afternoon, it's Asib here. I hope you're having an amazing day. Today, the topic of our video is CSCA exam. Many of the students from different parts of the world, they want to study in China. This exam is especially for the bachelors. The Chinese government and Chinese Scholarship Council, they officially launched the exam this year for the 2026 intake. There are many things that you need to know about the exam. Many students they still want to come to China even if they have to give the exam. They even have to enter and pass the exam. They want to come and study in China. So we're gonna talk about this topic and let's get started. So what is CSE? CSE is an entrance exam and test for international students administered by Chinese Scholarship Council. It's for those students who want to study in China, undergraduates actually. Undergraduates who want to study bachelor's degree, in China, it's for them. So what's the purpose of this exam? It's actually the Chinese, they want to fairly compare all the applicants, to the universities. They want to fairly compare all the applicants because some students are from Africa, Asia, Europe, other parts of the world, even from Americas. So this Chinese universities, it's a, benchmark for all the students to be compared with a test because there are many systems, many education systems in this world. They differ from each other, and they're very diverse countries actually, and diverse educational systems. So it gets quite difficult for Chinese universities to compare them and allot them scholarships. So the Chinese, they actually decided to introduce this exam, and this exam will be like standard for comparing all the international applicants for the universities. In simple words, it's actually to standardize the assessment of international students applying from different countries and regions to Chinese university, so that they align with Chinese students here studying China and the Chinese education. We all know the Chinese education is far better than most of the third world countries, and it makes it much difficult for the Chinese universities who are admitting international students to assess the students and fairly compare. For example, a student in North Africa has a different education system to student in South Asia, so they don't really know the proper background of the student. So educational background, I mean. So they introduced this exam, and now this exam is the same for all the students. The main thing is, so after this exam, they're gonna admit the students from now on. There are some universities who are still admitting students without CSCA exams, but by 2028, the Chinese Scholarship Council and Chinese Education Department, they want to implement this test in all of the Chinese universities who are taking students for bachelor's degree. So let's talk about the exam subjects now. Maths is mandatory for all the students, whether they're trying to study engineering program or business program, liberal arts, and medicine program. It's mandatory for all the students, whether they want to study in English or Chinese. They have to pass this exam. Then the other for Chinese taught program, STEM Chinese is also mandatory for engineering and computer related subjects, maths related subject. They have to pass the STEM Chinese. And for the business Chinese is for the arts students, those who want to study arts program. So they decided to do some kind of exam subject mapping, right? Let me explain that to you. So the exam combo, the test combo, which subjects you're gonna give, you're gonna enter, you're gonna pass, or depends on your desired major and language of instruction of that major, right? So if you're studying engineering or science related or STEM subjects or computer related, and you're gonna study in English, right? So if you're doing this, if you want this, then you have to pass maths plus physics. As I said, maths is mandatory, plus you have to pass physics. If you are studying the same majors in Chinese, then you have to pass maths, physics, and then there is another subject, STEM Chinese. It's going to be in Chinese language. Then the next part, if you are gonna medicine and bioscience majors, right? If it's English, then you have to give maths plus chemistry plus physics. Plus physics is optional. It depends on the specific major and the university requirements. If it is Chinese taught, in Chinese taught, it's gonna be maths, chemistry plus physics and plus Chinese, STEM Chinese. So if it's the most difficult, this one, if you are giving, if you want to study medical, let's say MBBS, all right, medicine. Let's say you want to study medicine in China, then you have to pass maths plus chemistry plus some universities may require you to enter the physics exam. Some may not. It depends on. It's optional actually, and depends on the university requirement. And STEM Chinese is also mandatory. And then if you want to study business, arts, and social sciences subject, then it's only maths for the English taught, and for the Chinese taught, it's maths plus business Chinese. So this is the subjects that you may appear in the exam, and you prepare accordingly. So now let's talk about the exam format. It's primarily a computer-based test actually, with remote proctoring. By remote proctoring, what I mean, I will tell you later in the video. And there will be some offline sites as well, offline, locations where you can enter, you can give the test. It will be for now, for this year, it's actually in very few countries like Vietnam, Thailand, Japan, Malaysia, South Korea, I think these are, and Kazakhstan. These are the countries that if you're applying from these countries, you can give offline test as well. Exam fees, it's 450 RMB for one subject, and if you wanna add one more, or for engineering in Chinese taught or English taught, like if you want to give two subjects, then it's 700 RMB for two subjects or more. Grading, the maximum score for each subject is 100, and the result will be released for online or computer-based test. The results will be released in 1 week, and for the offline, the result release time will be 14 days or 2 weeks. Now let's talk about the exam schedule. The exam is scheduled like 5 times per year, first in December, then in January, then in March, and then in April and June. So now you see the Chinese universities, their application systems, their applications of admission applications, they open from November basically until June. So it falls within this application deadline. So first you go to the website, you check your university that you want to apply, you check the major, and then you see the requirements, and then you enter the test and prepare for the test accordingly. And make sure you give the exam on time within that, before that deadline expire date of the university application, so you can submit the test score to the university. And so it first of all, this year 2026, it's in December 21, it passed actually. Then the next one, it was on January 25, it also passed. And three remaining, March 15, April 26, and June 26, gonna be the last test of this year for the September 2026 intake. So now that we have got an idea of the exam, and if you have decided to appear for the CSCA exam, it's time to register. So first we go to the official website. It's csca.cn. We go there, we create an account, first translate it to English, of course. It's going to be in Chinese, I think. So we go there, translate, and then we make account, and using your full name as it appear on the passports, because this name, you're gonna use this passport name in the application systems as well. So make sure this name stay consistent all along. So then we select our program, fill in application basics, including your intended major direction and program language. And then we choose subjects, select the required mandatory subjects. It's maths and Chinese if you're professional Chinese, if it is in Chinese taught program, and any optional subject, physics, chemistry, and etc. And then we pick a test window, choose a date that allows you to score release before your earliest university application deadline, because these tests, they're from November to June, and as I said, the applications are from November to June actually. So make sure you enter the test on the date, and you get your score before the deadline of your intended university. Then you finalize and pay the application fee, and then you check your equipment. So for home testing, there's kind of this. You need actually two devices. First device is gonna be a webcam on for your desktop. We're gonna give the test. There should be a webcam or camera if it is laptop on your device, and then if you should place a tripod and a camera on your back so it monitors everything. And also, it is not permissible to use Bluetooth, smartwatch, headphones, anything like that. No food, nothing. It's the basic, test regulations, ethics, uh, as everywhere. You will have only scratch board and a marker and an eraser where you will do rough work, and then after you finish your exam, you'll show it to the computer screen and make sure you rub everything off. That's the exam rules. So that's it for today. I hope you got an idea of the CSCA exam. If you have any queries, any questions, any suggestions, or if you want to know more about studying in China, you can comment, and also make sure to subscribe and share the video. So thank you for watching the video until here, and see you in the next video. Goodbye.